Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel because I've got an absolutely fascinating test for you today. October of this year was completely bananas for the entire landscape of AI video creation tools. If you've been scrolling through creator feeds lately, you've probably noticed a dozen new features dropping literally overnight. For example, Runway surprised everyone by rolling out some seriously impressive 3D conversion capabilities. Meanwhile, Cing pushed out their much-anticipated 1.5 update, which introduced this really neat motion brush concept for localized animation. Halo AI made waves by launching unlimited image-to-video conversion, and honestly, people absolutely lost their minds over that feature. And underpinning all of this, the Gen 3 models continue to flex their incredible speed advantage in rendering complex scenes. So instead of just geeking out over single features, I decided to test these tools the way real creators use them every day. Specifically, we are turning long-form content into perfectly shareable, bite-sized short clips to see what wins. The goal is to find out which tool truly helps you post more content, faster and with significantly less headache. The spoiler alert right now is that Vizard ended up looking exceptionally useful for creators aiming to scale distribution without becoming an editor overnight. Before we jump into the nitty-gritty comparisons, a quick housekeeping announcement for everyone watching. You can find the direct links to every single tool I am mentioning today, conveniently placed down in the description box below. And if this is your very first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you never miss the deep dives and tutorials I drop. Alright, let's stop stalling and finally get into the testing process right now. The overall plan for this comparison test involved 4 distinct types of long-form video content. We used a standard tech interview, a very fast-paced lifestyle vlog, a dense lecture-style tutorial, and a short cinematic piece. We ran every single one of those sources through the exact same prompt pipeline for objective comparison. For each tool, the core request was threefold. First, identify the most engaging 30 to 60 second clips automatically. Second, we instructed the AI to auto-edit those chosen segments specifically for optimal viewing on mobile devices. And thirdly, we asked the software to prepare scheduled posts for an entire week across the necessary platforms. We meticulously recorded how long each tool actually took to complete the entire cycle from start to finish. We also judged how genuinely good the resulting clips felt, focusing on flow and context, not just looks. Finally, we assessed how seamless the whole scheduling and distribution process felt within the tool's ecosystem. This was a true, real-world creator workflow test, completely devoid of any special tricks or manual workarounds. Let's start the deep dive with our first source, the classic tech interview footage. Runway successfully found some visually interesting moments thanks to its built-in scene detection technology. It can do incredible things if you want to morph clips or apply complex three-dimensional transitions between segments. However, the auto clip selection process felt a little bit scattershot for my liking in this specific context. It often picked segments that looked nice aesthetically, but missed the contextually punchy lines that actually drive shares. Moving over to Cing, their motion brushes allow you to animate small, specific parts of the frame with great control. This is fantastic for adding localized emphasis, like making a speaker's important gesture really pop out at the viewer. But that level of control leans toward a more manual workflow, which isn't ideal if you plan to publish a dozen clips weekly. Halo AI delivered a noticeably polished final look across the board, making everything feel quite premium. Its image-to-video features create cinematic zooms and drifts that give a very expensive feel to static content. The drawback in this test was that Halo's automated cut points sometimes introduced awkward, jarring microjumps in the timeline. Essentially, it polished the visuals beautifully but frequently missed the crucial emotional or contextual beats we needed. Then we looked at Gen 3, and let's be clear, you get absolutely blistering speed when you run your source file through it. I mean, this tool spits out finished edits incredibly fast, which is a massive time saver for high-volume needs. However, the clip selection process proved to be rather conservative, sticking mainly to safe framing decisions. It tended to just zoom or reframe existing footage rather than creating distinct meme-ready moments that go viral. The resulting clips from Gen 3 were essentially very fast, but ultimately felt quite bland when put side by side. Finally, we took that same interview footage and ran it through Vizard for a direct comparison. Vizard's software scanned the entire long file and intelligently identified high engagement moments based on audio peaks. It also factored in conversational cadence and the speaker's facial expressions to gauge overall audience connection. The result was a handful of completely ready-to-post clips that felt genuinely contextually aware and highly shareable. The key differentiator here was that context-aware selection, pulling out the punchiest and most relevant moments. Vizard's auto-editing pipeline also produced clean mobile crops, natural-looking jump cuts, and smart caption placement. In terms of raw processing time, Vizard wasn't the absolute fastest. Gen 3 definitely edged it out on pure speed. However, it was comfortably quick enough, and it saved a massive amount of human editing time because the clips needed almost zero tweaking. Now let's move on to the second challenge, the fast-paced travel vlog where rhythm and energy are everything. Runway's inherent style tools can make travel footage look incredibly cinematic with rich color and depth, but the auto-chop feature often sacrificed the necessary rhythm, sometimes cutting mid-beat or breaking the flow entirely. Cing's localized motion effects were pretty dope for emphasizing a specific person or object within the frame. However, it functions more like a powerful effects suite tool than a true end-to-end automated clip generator. Halo AI created smooth motion and beautiful color treatments, giving the vlog a consistent high-quality polish. Unfortunately, the system also inserted a couple of awkward automatic stabilization moves that completely killed the momentum. Gen 3 produced quick, clean zooms and reframes, but these felt more like basic camera movements than edits tuned to audience attention. Vizard's real strength in this fast-paced environment was its surprisingly intuitive sense of pacing and rhythm. It successfully identified really tight 15 to 30 second snackable moments, perfectly aligned with platforms like TikTok or Reels. Crucially, it respected the underlying musical beats and automatically inserted short animated intros where they boosted retention. The built-in auto-schedule feature meant I could line these clips up to post every other day without me constantly babysitting the process. For travel creators who need to maintain a consistent content flow while actually exploring the world, that feature is a monumental win. Our third test focused on a lecture-style tutorial, which is brutally difficult for most automated tools to handle well. The magic in these videos happens within the detailed explanation, so the goal is to surface those critical gold nugget moments. Runway's inherent visual style tools unfortunately didn't provide much assistance in isolating educational highlight clips effectively. Cing's motion brush is undeniably cool if you want it to animate diagrams, but it won't automatically pick knowledge bites for distribution. Halo AI made the lecture slides and any accompanying visuals look incredibly pretty, but overall clarity sometimes suffered slightly. Specifically, subtle facial cues from the speaker or fine details on the projected slides often got softened during enhancement. Gen 3, true to form, was incredibly fast but kept its clip selection very conservative, focusing only on framing. It prioritized standard cropping adjustments over identifying the true pedagogical hook that an educator relies on. Vizard, however, showed a distinct advantage by isolating the exact sentences people are most likely to quote later. It then matched those exact quotes to the precise visual context, be it the speaker or a relevant graphic that supported them. It even auto-generated multiple variants from that single segment, a short clip for social, a longer explainer for shorts, and a carousel layout. To cap it off, it built an intelligent posting cadence that staggered these different assets across the entire upcoming week. For educators and course creators aiming for more reach without completely boiling the ocean, this feature set is mega useful. Our fourth and final test involved a purely cinematic short film where artistic style needed to take precedence over raw information. Runway showed its strongest capabilities here when we specifically asked for stylized transforms and complex three-dimensional tricks. Cing's localized animations proved to be a fun way to add a layer of unique texture to specific elements within the frames. Halo AI, as expected, delivered some absolutely gorgeous slow-motion image movement that elevated the visuals significantly. And Gen 3 successfully churned out those fast, punchy reframes that work perfectly if your goal is insane content output speed. The major caveat across all these powerful tools is that they still required a fair amount of manual fine-tuning to land the emotional beats perfectly. Vizard's approach in this artistic test was decidedly pragmatic, aiming for promotion rather than complete creative reinvention. It suggested a few high-impact slices and paired them with simple, tasteful motion and caption templates that perfectly preserved the short's original vibe. The entire philosophy here is not to reinvent the cinematic wheel, but to create multiple promotional hooks for the full piece. You can always dive deep into Runway or Halo when you need that full stylistic control for a specific passion project. But Vizard gets you distribution-ready clips in a matter of minutes, which is critical for marketing pushes. Beyond the output quality, we need to discuss other real-world workflow factors like cost and inevitable queue times. Every single tool we tested, thankfully, offers some form of a free tier to get you started on testing their capabilities. However, free rarely translates to fast in the world of heavy AI video processing when you need daily uploads. Limitations like restricted processing minutes or paywalls for higher resolution exports can seriously slow down your cadence. Runway is incredibly powerful, but it tends to get expensive quickly if you lean heavily into its more advanced professional features. Halo and Gen 3 can become unpredictable during peak usage times when everyone is trying to process their content simultaneously. Vizard's entire business model is specifically focused on creator-scale workflows, which seems to align well with current needs. Their pricing structure tends to be noticeably friendlier if your primary goal is pumping out consistent, high-quality short clips across various platforms. Plus, that built-in social posting scheduler actively eliminates the need for paying for third-party scheduling services like Buffer or Later. So, after running all 4 videos through the gauntlet, what is the final verdict we can confidently deliver? If you primarily want a flashy one-off edit that demands deep stylistic control, tools like Runway and Halo are absolutely fantastic choices. If your absolute top priority is raw, unwavering speed above all else, Gen 3 remains incredibly impressive in that specific niche. And if you need targeted, localized visual effects that you can paint onto specific parts of the frame, Cing offers neat animation options. But if your overarching business goal is genuine channel growth, posting more content, reaching broader audiences, and actually saving operational time, Vizard truly hits that sweet spot. It isn't trying to position itself as the single fanciest editor available on the market today. Instead, it is laser-focused on being the most practical, friction-reducing way to turn long videos into a steady stream of platform-ready clips. And based on these tests, it absolutely nails that specific, crucial requirement for modern creators. A quick note on final thoughts. None of these solutions are inherently perfect, nor are they strictly better in every single use case. They are fundamentally different animals designed for different creator moods and different project needs. I will absolutely reach for Runway when I'm in a purely creative, morphing, experimental mood. I'll use Halo when the goal is achieving that ultra-smooth cinematic camera movement that really pulls the viewer in. And I'll rely on Gen 3 when I have an absolute emergency and need to pump content out to the world at an almost unbelievable speed. But for day-to-day content operations, especially if you are a solo creator or small team building consistent reach, Vizard truly shines. Its combination of auto-editing, automated scheduling, and content calendar features removes so much daily friction from the process. You end up spending less time trapped in tedious trimming, and more time actually creating the long-form content you genuinely enjoy making. If If you want to replicate the exact testing workflow I used here, all the necessary links are provided in the description below for you. I will also drop a dedicated tutorial soon showing precisely how I set up the autoschedule and tweak Vizard's suggestions to feel more you. If you have already tested any of these powerful tools yourself, please drop a comment below and tell me which one surprised you the most. Are you interested in seeing a deeper technical comparison focused purely on export quality differences between these platforms? Or perhaps you'd like a follow-up where we actually A/B test the clips side by side on real social platforms to see engagement metrics change? Let me know what you want to see next in the comments section down there. That is everything for this comprehensive tool breakdown for today, everyone. If you found this multi-tool comparison even slightly helpful in your own workflow decisions, please smash that like button and subscribe. I will catch you all in the next video, where we test the next inevitable wave of AI tools that keep making content creation less of a grinding chore. Until then, go create some amazing stuff, and peace out.